Drivers, start your engines. Welcome to the half-decent racing league. Hey! We ain't the best, but we ain't last. Set up from Reddit, hope they're fast. Miss the apex, but still talk trash. Totally planned it, yeah, hit the gas. Paint scheme's clean, the lines are not. Cold tires, yeah, we forgot. Three wide racing, bad idea. Still send it anyway, no fear. We're side draft kings till we spin. Blame netcode every time we don't win. We're half decent, loud and proud. Not quite legends, but we're running this crowd from green to checkers. Yeah, we send it hard, just good enough to tear up your car. Half decent, that's our name. Somewhere between has been and fame. Checkered flag or caution light. We're bringing chaos every night. Right rear hook, he turned me, bro. Replay says, yeah, that's a no. Missed your break, just call it bold. Track tightened up, story sold. Lap car fight like it's the lead. Every restart turns to greed. Spotters screaming, hold your line. Too late, buddy, we're four wide. We talk like pros in the chat, then chunk it all in turn one flat. We're half decent, loud and proud. Not quite legends, but we're running this crowd from green to checkers. Yeah, we send it hard, just good enough to tear up your car. Half decent, that's our name. Somewhere between has been and fame. Checkered flag or caution light. We're bringing chaos every night. Netcode, wasn't me. Well, that was just latency. Save my pride. Yeah, you drove it in too wide. We ain't pros, but we ain't done. We chase that win like it's Daytona. Every week we show back up. Half decent, but that's enough. We're half decent. Hear the roar, not quite perfect, but we're back for more. Rubbing fenders, crossing lines, living fast in these sim race lives. Half decent, on the fight. Little rough, but we're alright. Win or lose, we light up the track, and you know we will be back. Half decent, full throttle. See you next week, if your rig survives.
Well, it's another Friday night, and you know what that means? It's Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series. This week we are at Texas. Got about 20 cars strong logged into the lobby right now. Qualifying underway. Let's pull up our tower right now to see where we are qualifying. So right now it is Dylan McLean. Dylan with some issues last week, not having the finish he'd like to have. So right now, but actually Jacob Barker going to go up to the top of standings right now at a 30.18. My name's Chris Murphy here with DRSN. Really happy to be here with you. Thanks for joining us once again for Friday night evening. I know there's a lot of things you could be doing on a Friday night instead of spending your time with us, so appreciate you being here. Dylan McLean right now comes back second lap. He takes the pole spot back at a 13.13, about 0.05 of a second ahead of Jacob Barker. The point standing, so our graphics are a little messed up. If you're any of you are out there familiar with Sim Racer Hub, we usually have to pull in all of our point standings, results, and stuff like that. But unfortunately, they did a little update this week, and it kind of put a bug in some of our software. So we're gonna have to just kind of manually go through the point standings. Matt Dickerson right now leading the points at 603, 100 points back right now is Jesse Singleton. Jesse picked up the win last week at Talladega by a slim margin over newcomer Tyler Starcher and Hunter Hughes. That was your podium last week at Talladega. Cliff Adams third in the points right now. Zachary Steele fourth, Aiden O'Neill. In the fifth spot, Jacob Barker, Shane Williams, Charlie Bowling's back. And Charlie's missed last week at Talladega, but he is back this week. And we talked to him earlier. He's feeling pretty confident about his chances here at Texas. Watch for Charlie to be up front before this is over with. Cody Zerhoff, Benedict Ringer. That's your top 10 in the point standings right now. And as we said, we go back to last week's race. And it was just a heck of a show at Talladega. A couple drivers found themselves out of the picture with some different pit strategy and getting involved in some incidents. But Jesse Singleton with a great run last week had some issues early on, but ended up fighting his way back up to the front. We get back here to qualifying for Texas, and right now on the pole, it looks like your polling leader Matt Dickerson right now. We take a look here at the 80 at Cliff Adams, his Vortex Motorsports teammate. Cliff now on the racetrack trying to get his second lap in. First lap was only good for about 6. Let's see if he can improve on that position here to 30.28. Most everybody's been improving their second lap, so let's see what happens with Cliff now. He comes across through the tribal section, going to come across the line. Let's see what he's able to do here. He moves up to 4th at a 30.21, but he's still almost a full 1/10 of a second off the pole. That is going to put Cliff Adams right up into the top 4. We're going to start outside his second row right now. Nobody else up on the racetrack. And we see Benedict Ringer just made it in here late. He is going to get a couple laps in. Benedict with a new paint job this week. He's got the Broncos livery there on the number 83. He's going to try to get a few laps. We've got 5 minutes left to go here in qualifying for the Lone Star 250 here with the Half Decent Racing League at Texas Motor Speedway. And a good lap right here for Ringer. Let's see if he can where he can do as he comes across the stripe for lap number 1. He's going to have a chance at it again here. He starts the second lap. Let's see where Benedict moves up the charts at. He is going to move up no better than 15th right now at a 30.72, about 6/10 of a second off our pole time of a 31.12 by Matt Dickerson. Looks like we got some Dickerson fans in the YouTube chat already. Thanks for being here. All right, we're going to ride along here and just jump on board with Ringer. And you can see him fighting that wheel off of turn number 4. He's going to come across the line. Second lap. Going to go to second fast right there for Ringer. What a big improvement there on his second lap. 30.13. He just missed the pole. Actually, if you break it down to the thousands, he missed the pole by 0.005 of a second. So Benedict Ringer up to second here. And I think Benedict might be our last one to qualify. We got Mark Osher. Did not make it out on the track for any laps. And that is going to finish up qualifying here for the Half Decent Racing League at Texas. All right, so tomorrow night, let's just go through our schedule a little bit while they're wrapping up qualifying, then we'll go through the results of qualifying. But tomorrow night, DRSN, we will be here for the JWR Esports Craftsman Trucks at Talladega Money Race. Don't miss that one. That's going to be an exciting race tomorrow night. Starts at 10 Eastern. A little bit late for, I know you're on the East Coast, but works out perfectly for me being on the West Coast, 7 o'clock at night. That's the perfect time for me to do stuff. And then we come back Tuesday night for the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series. That is one you do not want to miss. That has been a fantastic series to cover. Some of the best racing we've had all season long. Nothing against the guys here with the NASCAR and the Xfinity stuff, but there's nothing like a good sprint car race on the dirt. So come back for Tuesday night for that. And then also Tuesday night we have the Western Racing League. And then next Wednesday night we also have our 4th event for the SCCA Fresno group. Excuse me, how do they say that? Fresno Club, SCCA Club, something like that. But we have a little Mazda MX-5 series they run on Wednesday nights. They run it like once a month. They actually have they do a real rally cross type events. So they throw in some sim racing along with it just to kind of have something to do between real life events. So kind of fun little league to cover. And then Thursday night next week. And then also on Wednesday night, we also have the ARCA series for the Appalachian League. That is going to be covered by our good friend Sagar Bashi on that one on Wednesday night. And then Thursday night, we come back with the Nitros on Racing League. And then next Friday night, we're right back here with the Half Decent Racing League. So that's going to wrap up qualifying. Looks like they're going to jump forward in time. So it looks like Matt Dickerson is going to take the pole here. Just continue leave off where he's been all season long. We're up at the front every single week. We're going to get gridded up here. And then we'll bring you your starting lineup. All right, so we got some drivers starting to make their way down to the starting grid. So we're going to go ahead and get started here with your starting lineup. If I can get a view here where we can see the cars on pit road. There we go. All right, Matt Dickerson on the pole once again in that brand new paint job. Benedict Ringer in the Broncos sponsor number 83. He is going to start to his outside in the second row. We're going to get back to row number 2. Starting on the inside, it is the 23 of Dylan McLean and Jacob Barker in the 12. Row number 3, we're going to find Cliff Adams, Vortex Motorsports teammate, and Aiden O'Neill. O'Neill Racing going to start to his outside in 6. Back inside of row number 4, you're going to find Hunter Hughes. Hunter showed up last week for the first time here with the Half Decent Race League. Took home a podium. See if he can back that up this week at Texas. Shane Williams starting on the outside. Shane back in the familiar red, white, and blue colors. Row number 5, starting in 9th, is going to be Charlie Bowling. Charlie back at it this week. Missed last week due to an infringement from the week before. Had to sit out probably his favorite race at Talladega, but he's back tonight. New paint job in the O'Reilly.com. Sponsored number 5 for Charlie Bowling. To his outside, it's going to be Connor Fuse, and that's actually kind of a... We'll show you, bring up a little graphic for that. So them starting side by side. We'll go over that here in just a second, but 6th row back is going to start in 11th. It's going to be Chris Farmer and Colton Gardner in the 41. Back in row 7, starting 13th, it's going to be Quinn McLean, and to his outside, last week's winner, Jesse Singleton. In the 15th starting spot's going to be Cody Zuroff and Wesley Fuge. Row number 9, we're going to find Todd Russ Jr. and Joey Adamo. And the last row, we're going to find Matthew Huff starting the 19th, and we've got our Choose Cone pace car there, Corey Bodeno. All right, so that is going to wrap up our starting grid here for tonight. We got a nice little graphic that they've been putting together here for us. So Charlie Bowling versus Connor Fuse, and actually they're starting side by side tonight in row number 5. It was a little incident with Charlie and Connor that sent Charlie home for the week last week at Talladega. Let's see if we get any fireworks here tonight, as they're going to start side by side. Tensions could be high. 1 incident, 1 suspension, 0 love loss between these two drivers, but they're starting. I think Charlie told me earlier maybe they hugged and made up a little bit. I'm not going to say they kissed, but I think they've kind of, the water's under the bridge at the moment, so we're going to see how this plays out. But a little bit of tension here, as you can see. Bowling and Fuse starting side by side. The 5 down there on the inside, the 19 of Fuse up on the outside. All right, our pace car is getting ready to pull Hinter off at turn number 4. We're going to go green flag in the air for the first time here tonight at Texas, and it's Matt Dickerson bringing us to the line, as we have said many, many times this year already. Ringer to his outside. Green flag is in the air. 165 laps of action here at Texas. Down to turn number 1, it's Dickerson on the inside. Ringer's going to try to make the outside work for 2x2. Back here, almost 3 wide back here for about 7th, 8th, and 9th. Right now it's Dickerson, though, with a good lead. Ringer trying to chase him down. McLean now to the inside. McLean's already trying to move up a spot. He looks to the inside of Ringer. He's going to take second away from him. So it looks like right now the bottom of the racetrack is the place to be. And McLean still, he doesn't like he's done. He's going to look underneath Dickerson now, coming down the front straight through the trioval section into turn number 1. Dickerson back down to the bottom. He blocks off that run from McLean. McLean pushes up the racetrack. That can open up the bottom back for Ringer. Here comes Ringer sticking a nose there off of 2. Thinks better of it. Cliff Adams right there back in the 4th spot. He's already up a spot after starting in 5th. Dickerson getting away a little bit, about 0.4 of a second. Looks like we forgot to put these stage times in there here. All right, so Matt Dickerson right now started on the pole. He's led from the start, which has only been a couple of laps. Let's jump back here to the back of the pack and see if we can find a little action. Ringer now trying to chase down Adams for 3rd. O'Neill here. We're looking at O'Neill and Bowling. Bowling's already moved up 3 spots. Started back at 9th. He's up to 6th. We see this a lot from Charlie. He is really quick on the early stints. And he is going to make his way around the outside of O'Neill. So Charlie Bowling making that outside line work. That's the only driver we really see make any moves to the outside so far. So Charlie now up to 5th. Got Bully Dog Coffee Company in the chat again. We're looking for a discount on the coffee tonight there. I think it's Fast 44. Give us your website. Give us a link to the website up there, Billy Dog. All right, Dickerson. Now look at Dylan McLean's closed in on the back of the 44 for the lead. We're right along here with Dylan McLean as he is trying to catch our leader here, Matt Dickerson. A little action going on back here at the pack. We got Hunter Hughes and Shane Williams side by side. Hunter started. He's falling down a spot right here. He's trying to get back around Williams to get back to 7th. Our big mover of the race right now is Charlie Bolin. He's up to 4th now after starting in 9th. And he is now looking around the outside of Ringer. So Ringer and Bolin now side by side. And look at Charlie way up on the top of the racetrack through 1 and 2. He is making that outside line work. Ringer's going to come up and block him off of 4, off of the corner right there. It's O'Neal now to the bottom. This is a good battle right here. This is for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Off of turn number 4, Ringer on the bottom, Bolin on the outside. He's got a good run here down the front straightaway through the tri-oval. Can he get around Ringer and clear him for that 4th spot? It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Looks like he has to lift a little bit more, getting in the outside. He's going to settle back down behind the 83, settle down to 50. He's got O'Neal right there with him. We were talking earlier, that battle with Connor Fuse and Bolin. They're both going in opposite directions right now. Bolin going towards the front. Fuse now, he's lost a spot or 2. He's back to 11th. He has got the 41 at Gardner. And speaking of Gardner, that reminds me, we got a couple in-car cameras for you tonight. Todd Rush in the 55 and Colton Gardner down there on the bottom of the screen in the 41 have been kind enough to share their in-car cams with us tonight. So thank you guys. We'll jump in and out as the night goes on. But we see down the bottom of the 41 of Gardner. Gardner right there on the racetrack. He is now up a couple of spots, started in 12th up to 10th. Did not get a good qualifying spot. Colton usually starts up a little closer to the front. Did not qualify well at Talladega last week. He's kind of backing it up with a poor qualifying effort here at Texas, but he's trying to make up for it, get his way back up to the front. He's up to 10th right now after starting in 12th. Last week's winner, let's check on Jesse Singleton. Jesse started back in 14th. He's moved up a couple of spots. He's up to 12th. We can see Jesse right here trying to get onto the inside of Fuse. This is for 11th. So a good battle back here in mid-pack, back up towards the front. We'll take a look at our leader, Dickerson, McLean. Adams is actually making up some ground. Adams is closing in on McLean. We've got another nice little graphic here for you. We are going to take a look at this battle with McLean and Adams, and you can see the last 5 laps down here on the bottom. This is the new toy, and it's perfect that the Collateral Damage Sports Network graphic is up on there, because all these new toys are given to us, are brought to us anyway, by our good friend Shane Cochran over at Collateral Damage. And this is one of our new ones, and you can see right here the last 5 laps. You can see Adams now looking at the bottom, and he has been faster over the last 5 laps. And now let's take a look at his comparison to Matt Dickerson. He's actually been running faster laps than the leader. So Cliff Adams coming to the front. According to this, he is going to catch in about the next 7 laps or so. We're going to see how well this graphic works, but sometime in the next 7 laps, he is going to reel in our leader if he keeps up the same pace. So another nice toy we have right there. All right, get back here, got this battle with Bolin and Hughes. So Charlie Bolin had made his way close up to the front. He was battling up for 3rd. He's now falling back here. Did not see if he had some kind of an incident or what happened there, but he has now been falling back through the field. So Bolin now back to 8th after almost getting himself up into the top 4. So it looks like he's committed to that outside. Maybe used up those right side tires a little bit too much. So first stage is going to be at lap 40, so we're about a quarter of the way through that right now on lap 12. And there's our discount code, GoFast44. Good for 10% off if you order at Bully Dog Coffee Company. I guess is it bullydogcoffeecompany.com? I'm not quite sure, but we're going to have to check out some Bully Dog Coffee. We're just giving out way too many free commercials for Bully Dog Coffee there. But new sponsor on our leader is 44 car, Matt Dickerson. All right, Cody Zuroff moving his way up through the field. He's up a couple of spots now to 13th. So let's take a look at our 2 Vortec Motorsports teammates of Dickerson and Adams. Adams still gaining a little bit of ground there on Dickerson, but not quite as quickly as we'd anticipated. So pit stop, I would assume we're going to be able to go 40 laps without a pit stop. We'll see how this plays out. We jump on board here with Cliff Adams, and he is going to make his way around right out to the inside. They're almost, he is going to clear Matt going into turn number 4. Can he hang on to it? Off of 4, are we going to have a new leader for the first time? Cliff Adams in the 80 is going to slide up in front of his teammate and across the line. It is going to be Cliff Adams, our second leader of the race, here on lap number 14, or lap 15. We completed 14. So it's Adams, Dickerson, McLean. That's your top 3. Dickerson looking back to the bottom of the racetrack. That's the camera angle I was looking for earlier. As we take a look here with Dickerson, you can see up just a couple of car lights up in front of him right now is the 80 of Adams. And they're starting to pull away from the field. They've got a second back to McLean, and then there's another second back to Ringer in the 83. Take a look at this battle a little further back. This is for 10th. Bowling's got 10th. Singleton wants it. He is going to get to the inside. So Bowling had a hard charge early, but he has been struggling here of late. He's now falling back. Looks like he's going to fall back out of the top 10 now. And right behind him is the 19 of Fuse. So the 5 and the 19 come after starting side by side together. They find themselves racing on the racetrack one more time. I think we got somebody coming out of the pits down there. 5 and the 19 here side by side. It's been clean racing here so far throughout the first 16 set laps of this race or so, but we've got about halfway to go towards the end of stage number 1, and we've got 149 laps left to go in this race. Cody Zuroff back here in the 14th spot. He's trying to find his way around Farmer right there, and we got a couple cars a lap down already. Fuse came in and pitted. Hobbs also came. Looks like Hobbs may be out of this. Adamo sitting down on pit road. He's been down there for about a minute or so. I'm not quite sure what happened. Let's see if we can see what happened to Joey Adamo here. So the 101 car just slows up. Early pit stop. I'm not sure what the strategy is here, but spent a lot of time down in the apron, so I'm not quite sure. Sometimes maybe the cat jumped up on his pedal. I'm not sure. I've seen that happen before. All right, back up here, battle with Hunter Hughes and Shane Williams. This is for 5th and 6th, so Hunter moved up a spot here. Let's take a look at our big gainers of the race so far. As Adams and Osher now both up 4 spots. Singleton also at 4 spots. Williams and Gardner both up 3. Here in the early stages at Texas. We jump here with Colton Gardner. Let's jump on board here with Colton. Down here on the bottom screen. So you can just, I wish the camera was in a little bit different place here. You can see Colton just little movements on the wheel, and that's really what you want to do. You don't want to make any big movements on the wheel, and you can just see the small movements Colton's making. And I almost did a visual of it like you can see me or something, but well, thanks for Colton for sharing his cam there once again. Todd Rush as well. Where is Todd? We haven't focused on Todd yet. Todd back here in the 16th spot. Started back in 17th, another new paint job there. These guys like to paint their cars every week. It makes try to give me a challenge to try to recognize who is who. As Rush is now up to 16th. Little side-by-side action here. Chris Farmer, Connor Fuse, Charlie Bowling here. So Charlie continues to fade back here. Back to 13th now. He's down 4 spots after a real hard charge early. All right, Aiden O'Neill and Gardner. This is for 7th, 8th, and 9th. You can see Barker in the 12 right there. Aiden O'Neill right there behind him in the 87. Gardner in the 41. Gardner's up 3 spots now. He's trying to get through here. As O'Neill goes up the racetrack to try to find a way Barker, that's going to let Gardner get by him down on the bottom of the racetrack. Just kind of open the door. The 41 drove by there with ease. Down the back straightaway here. 18 laps left to go here in stage number 1. Your top 5 is still Adams, Dickerson, Ringer, McLean, and Shane Williams now. Shane up to 5th. We heard some complaints. Shane changed his paint job for a couple of weeks, and everybody was a little confused. They couldn't find that red, white, and blue car on the racetrack, so Shane switched back to the old livery. And it looks to be working out for him right now. He's up to 4th after starting back in 8th. So he is coming up through the field. So Matthew Hobbs out of the race. His computer overheated, so a little technical difficulties for Matthew Hobbs. Was able to get a couple of laps in, but he is going to be done for the night. So thank you for checking in there in the chat, Matt. As we take a look here with Shane Williams. Shane Williams up on the outside of Ringer. Just look how what I love about these racetracks like Texas. Some of these racetracks kind of cookie cutter between Texas, you know, California. There's a bunch of them that were very similar built racetracks, but it definitely lots of room for racing out here. You can find multiple different grooves down on the bottom. You'll see guys in the middle. You see right here Williams kind of running in the middle of the racetrack down into 2, 3, and 4. Cuts down off the bottom. If you can drive that car down off the hill like that, it gives you a little extra momentum. And you can see Williams makes easy work of Ringer. He is now going to move himself up to 3rd. And let's just take a look here. We're going to use our versus. We're going to see Shane Williams compared to our leader, Cliff Adams. And you can see a couple of laps there. He was a little bit quicker, but he is a little bit slower overall. But let's see if that changes now that he has got clear of Ringer. He's got a little clean air in front of him. Is he going to have a little better pace here? Let's see if he starts reeling in the leader, Cliff Adams. I'm going to come across the line. That time by at lap 26. And a little bit slower, so not quite closing in like we thought he might be doing. As he was showing some pretty good pace there. But he has got himself up to 3rd as he clears Benedict Ringer for that 3rd spot. Ringer now back to 4th. Good battle going on back here. You see Barker on the bottom of the racetrack, Gardner on the outside. That is the 58 of Fuse. Fuse is a lap down. Wesley Fuse, that is. We've got 2 Fuses in the race with Connor and Wesley. I think there's a 3rd. I think we had Chris in here last week too. But Barker and Colton Gardner. I love that. I just really do like that that paint job on Gardner's car. It kind of looks like an old school NASCAR kind of a paint job on that thing. All right. Cliff Adams, about a half a second out in front of his teammate Matt Dickerson. And they are almost 3.5 seconds out in front of the rest of the field. So this could be our battle here tonight. The 2 Vortex Motorsports drivers appear to have the better pace right now early on in this new stage number 1. Let's see if they can hold that on through the rest of the race as we get back here a little bit more. Watch this battle with Barker and Gardner. Gardner now to the outside. He's been trying to get around the outside of Barker here for like the last 3 or 4 laps. Is he finally going to get it done down the back straightaway? Can he get down to the bottom in front of Barker? Not quite. Spotter was yelling, "You're not quite clear, you're not clear." But he is clear off before Gardner's going to take that spot away finally. He is going to clear Barker down the front straightaway here to start lap number 30. Take a look here at the CS Motorsports driver, Cody Zuroff. He is in 13th. He is trying to catch the 19 of Fuse right there in front of him. What happened to Charlie Bowling? Charlie now all the way back to 15th. I wish I could look at his telemetry in his car to see how his tires and stuff are worn out, because he must have really worn out that right front of that thing, because he has now got the 55 of Todd Rush right there behind him. But Charlie has really backed up in this field. We're going to keep an eye and see if he can make his way back up to the front before this is over. I mean, there's a long way to go. We've still got 135 laps left to go in this race. 10 laps left to go in stage number 1. This is Quinn McLean trying to get around Zuroff. A meatball flag for Bowling. Charlie Bowling looks to have crashed. A meatball flag popped up. Let's see if you can see what happened here. He's got Rush right behind him. And he just drives into the wall right there. So let's see if we can get a different angle of that here. So they're going through the trial section. And it looks, I don't know what that was. Let's go back one more time here. So both him and Rush both drive into the wall. I know they're in a chat together. Are they? Let's take a look here at Rush. As we can see, Rush now also going down the racetrack. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. Maybe if we can get, maybe we'll pull Todd up into chat here at, as you can see him sliding through the grass there as well. So you can see Bowling still struggling right there, trying to get back out on the racetrack. We're going to get back to live time. Not sure what that was with the 5 car. But he had made a good charge early and then started falling back, so we'll see if we can find out exactly what happened to Charlie. Alright. 7 laps left to go in stage number 1 here for the Half Decent Racing League at Texas, the Lone Star 250. A couple of our sponsors, AI Chief. If you're looking for a great piece of software to help you with your plan, your strategies, AI Chief is where I would send you. The product's still a little in development, but it is a fantastic piece of software. It's a lot of fun too. Go back into this battle with McLean and Gardner. Now McLean now on the outside. Gardner cleared Barker, and he's starting to run down the top 5 cars. He's got McLean now right in front of him. So Gardner's showing some good pace. He's up 6 spots. He is our biggest mover of the race now, as he is going to try to get around McLean. He just nice move down to the bottom of the racetrack, going into 1. Gardner is going to make that move easy. So Colton Gardner's done a really good job here of saving his tires here towards the end of this stage here. 5 laps left to go. Comes off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Gardner's going to take 5th away from Benedict Ringer. So Ringer looked quick, or excuse me, from McLean anyway. Ringer is the next car in front of him. Take a look at last week's winner, Singleton. Singleton up to 10th. Started back in 14th. He was really quick last week at Talladega. So far, he's moving up through the field here. Right in front of him, he's got the lap car of Wesley Fuse. It looks like Aiden O'Neill down there, as well as the 18 of Hunter Hughes. So this is the battle shaping up back there. This is for 8th night that O'Neill's going to go by. And they got the lap car in the middle of the mix here. Let's see if Singleton can clear the 15th. They're just about 3 wide off of turn number 4. I think Singleton thought the better, but he's going to check up. And we got a crash right there. Now look to the other screen. Hunter Hughes going to get together with the lap car of Wesley Fuse, and around they're going to go. That is going to bring out the caution flag, and that is also going to bring us to the end of stage number 1. Cliff Adams will be the winner, or the winner here in stage number 1. Let's see if we can see what happened with Hughes. I looked over to the right for just a second. We got Singleton on the bottom. You can see Fuse in the middle of the racetrack. Hunter Hughes on the outside as they're coming down the front straightaway through the triover section. And let's just see if we can see what happens. So Fuse, we're going to go extra slow-mo here. Just go real time so we can get to it. So Fuse got down to the bottom on that triover section, and I do not think he knew Hunter was still on his outside. We'll take another look here from Hunter's view. And you can watch Fuse go down to the bottom of the racetrack right here, and then just drive straight out and just drives Hunter Hughes right into the outside wall. I mean, that's really the only way to say it. So a mistake there for Wesley Fuse is going to put Hunter Hughes into the wall, and we've got our first caution of the night. All right, let's see if we can. Let's see if they're going to get into the pits. So it looks like everybody's going to pull down to the pits. We're going to see if we can pull Todd Rush in here with us as soon as he gets into his pit slot. I don't want to mess him up trying to get into his pit slot. All right. Hey Todd, you got Todd. Hey Todd, you got Chris in the booth, buddy.
Hey buddy, what's up?
All right, so we're a little unclear what the incident was there with you and Charlie. Did you guys just in chat together to both decide you just wanted to drive into the wall together? Or?
No, so he was, sorry, I got guys in my ear here.
No worries, no worries.
We were just coming through the turn, and I was trying to stay behind him to, just follow him through. And then he tapped the wall, and I got in the back of him, and it kind of sent us both into.
All right, we were looking. We kind of missed the beginning of it. Just kind of saw you both drive into the outside wall, so we're a little unclear. But hey, you got a good run going out there. How's the car feel?
It feels good now that I'm figuring out. Turns 3 and 4, I got to work on 1 and 2. I still got a little bit of damage here. It was saying I had like 5 minutes of repairs, so not doing that. I'm gonna save my fast repair. Hopefully, get to this next stage. But I got 4 fresh tires. I'm gonna see if I can run some guys down here.
All right,
looks like we gained a couple of spots there off of pit road. So we're gonna see what we can do here.
All right, man. Well, thanks for sharing the cam with us. We got you on the camera as well. So good luck for the rest of the night, and we'll talk at you later on. We hope.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you.
You betcha. All right. Well, that was Todd Rush there in the 55. And let's see, up front right there. So coming out of the pits, let's look at our pit stats here. Pit stats, Matt Dickerson and Cliff Adams both. It looks like everybody took 4 tires. Ringer with a little bit of repairs on the car. Connor Hughes as well, but it looks like everybody took advantage of the pit stop, took 4 tires, topped off with fuel. So no green flag stops here from here on out, at least till the end of stage number. Once we get into the final stage, I think we're going to see some green flag stops, but for now, we're going to go another 40 laps to lap 80 for stage number 2. And it's going to be Cliff Adams and Matt Dickerson. Colton Gardner now up to 3rd. A good stop for Colton, moved him up a couple of spots. Shane Williams in 4th. McLean and Singleton. We're going to roll off at turn number 4. Green flag will fly this time by. All right, green flag in here once again. We are green at Texas for the Happiest and Racing League. 41 laps down, 124 left to go. Cliff Adams, Matt Dickerson, the Vortex Motorsports drivers, 1 and 2. They've been 1 and 2 for the last 20 laps, 25 laps or so. Colton Gardner back there in 3rd. And here comes Shane Williams on the outside. He's going to look to the outside of Gardner for 3rd. Williams has got a good hot rod. He's coming to the front. He's got a great run off of 2. Down on turn number 3, he is going to go all the way along the outside of Dickerson. Man, Shane Williams was shot out of a rocket off of turn number 2. He is all the way up to 2nd. He's actually looking to the outside of Cliff Adams. Look at the 25. He has turned on the nitrous, and he is coming to the front. Watch this run. He gets off of 2. Shane Williams way on the outside. And Shane Williams is going to take the lead off of turn number 2. Let's see if anybody saw that move he just pulled and tries to follow suit, because he just went from 5th to 1st in about a lap here on the restart after the restart here of stage number 2. And he is pulling away. So the 25, man, he has really found something out there. He's almost a half a second out in front of our leaders already. We got a battle back here shaping up in the middle of the pack here. We're looking at O'Neill in the 87. Singleton now up to 6th. He's going to the outside of Gardner. He's also going to look to the outside of Dickerson. Watch the 51. He saw what Shane Williams did. He's trying to duplicate it as he makes his way around. Gardner for 5th. So that's Singleton up 9 spots. As we talked earlier, did not have the qualifying run he really would like to have, but he has now made his way up into the top 4 as he is now looking to get around Dickerson for 3rd. And, for 4th. He gets around Dickerson for the 4th spot. He's got Dylan McLean now in front of him in 3rd. So not a great restart there for our points leader and our pole sitter in the 44. He is now falling back to 5th. The Bulldog Coffee Company number 44 falling back a little bit. Started on the pole, was up fighting with the lead with his teammate Cliff Adams, but now falling back. And Adams actually, Shane Williams, I don't know what the heck he found here. Man, he is almost a second out in front now. It is Cliff Adams, Dylan McLean, Jesse Singleton. Colton Gardner now, he's up to 4th. He's trying to get around Singleton. Gardner on the bottom. Well, Singleton had found something on the outside, but here comes the 41 to Gardner, trying to get back past him for 4th. A little contact right there. Hunter Hughes is going to collect the outside wall. Hunter was involved in that caution. It brought us to the end of stage number 1, but he's now back up to 8th. Watch the 18. We're just about 3 wide. He's got Barker there in the middle. Aiden O'Neill down to the bottom. Here comes Mark Oshier right there in the 71, right there behind him. Let's take a look here at Gardner. Gardner still on the bottom. He is still coming forward. Gardner up 8 spots. Now up to 4th. Can he catch Dylan McLean for that 3rd position? Colton Gardner is driving the wheels off the 41. He's going to look to the inside of the 23 right here, off of 2. Does he have any run down the back straightaway? That outside line will tend to have a little bit better run off the top of a little contact right there. Look like Hughes and O'Neill getting together. O'Neill way down at the bottom of the racetrack. The 18 and the 87, a little more wiggle there from the 87. They just about make contact again for a second time. Hughes up on the outside, O'Neill down on the bottom. Looks like we're going to get that battle straightened out here as O'Neill's going to clear Hughes for 9th. Hughes now back to 10th. Man, Shane Williams, we should pull him in for an interview if we can if he's in the chat anywhere. There's an old story of Waltrip, and they used to put BBs in the car and let the BBs out to lessen the weight. I think Shane Williams pulled some kind of trick like that after that restart. Man, he was shot out of a rocket. He is starting to pull away now. A little over a second back to Adams. Let's take a look here at our versus cam, and you can see Shane Williams, Adams has been slower every single lap, losing about 1.2 seconds per lap to the leader, Shane Williams. All right, let's find us a good battle here on the racetrack. We've got Gardner trying to chase down McLean. This is for 3rd. We've also got a good battle go back. Gardner down to the bottom there. McLean way up the racetrack. Pushes that car up through the center of the racetrack and see if he can get a run off of turn number 2. Does not look to be as good of a run off of 2 as he had last time, but he is going to get back around the outside of the 41. But I think Gardner is going to clear McLean. They're side by side. And you see this is a good strategy here from Gardner. He's coming down the bottom of the racetrack. He's not giving Gardner a lot of room, or excuse me, McLean there. Not giving Gardner a lot of room on the bottom to really stretch his legs. So Gardner's got to lift just a little bit more to keep the car pinned right on the white line. Nothing wrong with that. Just a little strategy against your adversary there. Giving him the room he needs, but just not giving him too much room. And that's exactly working out for McLean now, as he is going to clear Gardner for 3rd. And he's going to drop back down to the bottom of the racetrack. So a nice move there from Dylan McLean as he's now back to 3rd. Pretty much single file now at this point all throughout the field. Take a look here at the 44 of Dickerson now. He's now caught up to the back of Gardner. This is for 4th and 5th. Osher in the 71 is definitely our big mover of the race, up 11 spots. For some reason, the last couple weeks, Mark decided he didn't want to qualify, and he seems to have a pretty good charge throughout the field, so he's now up to 11 spots. After starting 21st, he's up to 10th. Connor Hughes in the 19. He is trying to get around the 31 of Farmer. Hughes falling back a couple of spots from where he started. Charlie did make it back on the racetrack. He is a lap down. He is the first car a lap down. So if Charlie can just stay where he's at on the racetrack, he will get himself the lucky dog, get back on the lead lap. So far that, I don't think Charlie's maybe old enough to know the bad luck. Green is bad luck. He switched to a green livery this week. And it looks like we got Hunter Hughes in the pits. For the 18 of Hughes is going to pit early here. We'll see how the strategy plays out for him. All right, let's see if we can find another good battle here on the racetrack. We got Ringer, Osher right there behind him, and Mark running up towards the middle of the top of the racetrack. And I believe Mark is the oldest driver in the field. I'm not going to quote his age because I'd be wrong. But Mark's really digging right here, up to 10th right now. He's got Ringer right there in front of him. And it's Barker and O'Neill. Needs to crank it up camera enough throughout the race. We zero in here on the 87 of O'Neill. He's up along the outside of Ringer. This is for position. This is for 8th and 9th. But let's see if Aiden O'Neill can make the outside work. Right on board here with the 71 of Osher as Barker. Actually, O'Neill's going to fall back here. So O'Neill did not only did he not get around Ringer, but he lost that spot to Osher. And Mark now up 12 spots. All right, Cliff Adams starting to reel our leader back in. We're going to pull up our versus cam here one more time. As we can see the 25 up there on the outside. All right, so last 5 laps, Cliff Adams has been the faster car. He's gaining 0.2 of a second on the average per lap. So Williams shot out early after that after the stage. But now starting to, sorry, I had to sneeze, but now starting to fall back a little bit as Adams is going to get himself back to the front. We've had 3 different leaders in this race. It's been Adams, Williams, and Dickerson, and Adams going to make his way back to the lead. So Shane Williams, hopefully, maybe he learned a little something for that. He was fast after that restart, but may have used his stuff up. And Adams reeled him back in, and they are now side by side for the lead with Dylan McLean back there in the 3rd spot. And once again, you see Williams way up the racetrack. You could almost drive a semi between the 2 of them right there so far. You could drive a semi sideways just about between the 2 of them right there. All right, Adams back to the front. Williams now settles back to 2nd. McLean in 3rd. Dylan McLean, that is. Colton Gardner in the 4th spot. So no cautions here for incidents. We're 60 laps into this. The only caution we've had, actually, no, excuse me, that was for an incident. It just ended up being the stage. It was kind of a mix of the two. So we were going to have a caution no matter what for the stage, but the incident with Hunter Hughes brought out the caution with him and Wesley Fuge. All right, let's find us another battle on the racetrack if we can. Osher, actually, I went way too fast there because here comes Dylan McLean down the bottom of Williams for 2nd. A good run here for the 23 of McLean. He's starting to reel himself back in. So McLean, Williams is definitely falling off pace. He definitely used his stuff up. He's about ready to fall back to 4th right now as Gardner and McLean are both going to go by him. He's fighting back on the outside, but I think that right front tire is pretty much gone at this point. On the 25 is he's definitely losing some pace. Dickerson would be the next car behind him. Dickerson now in 5th. So this is our battle for 3rd. Colton Gardner down on the bottom of the racetrack. Shane Williams on the top. Let's check in with our webcam drivers. Let's take a look here at, there's Colton Gardner right there. Todd Rush also in the 55. Todd's back in 14th right now, still on the lead lap. Everybody's still, there's about 15 drivers still on the lead lap right now. Bowling will be the first car lap down, then it's Hunter Hughes, who just pitted back on lap 54. So we're going to see what Hunter's plan is here from here on out. All right. 41 McLean now up to 3rd. Williams is going to fall back to 5th now as Dickerson's also going to get by. So here comes Matt Dickerson. Matt Dickerson's also trying to pick up the pace a little bit here after he kind of fell back on that restart. I think what a lot of these guys are doing right now, they're just testing these tires out. We've got about 80 laps on that last stage. So I think most of these drivers are just trying to find out just how long these tires are going to go for them, how long they're going to work, can they save them. And I think that's exactly what we've seen from the 80 and the 44. McLean and Gardner also doing the same thing. Gardner pushing right here. He looks to the inside of McLean for 2nd. Colton Gardner now is going to move himself up into second right now. The 41 looks quick tonight. He has come from 12th now up to the second spot. They're going to come across the line. Dylan McLean tries to fight back on the outside. Dickerson right there with him. We're going to jump on board here with Dickerson. From the hood cam of the Bully Dog Coffee Company. That's a great shot of the logo on the hood. Little contact tire to the left rear quarter of McLean. He's got guard. It looks like Dickerson's got a little better pace right now, but he's got the two cars side by side in front of him, not really anywhere he can go. Quinn McLean off the racetrack and back on. We're going to jump back up into this battle here. This is for second, third, and fourth. McLean's up to second. Dickerson now tries to find a way around Dylan McLean. Shane Williams continues to fall back a little bit. He's fighting back there on the outside of the racetrack, but he is definitely still losing time to our leaders. We got 66 laps down, 14 left to go here in stage number 2. Watch the 44, looks to the bottom of McLean as they head into turn number 3. Makes it look easy. Dickerson now back up to third. All right, let's take a look back here. We got Jacob Barker and Jesse Singleton. Jesse moved his way up towards the front of the pack, but fell back there a little bit. He's back to 7th. Barker in 8th. All right, Gardner and Dickerson now going at it. Dickerson still coming to the front. The 44 now down to the inside of the 41 of Gardner. He is going to take second away. The two Vortex Motorsports drivers, Adams and Dickerson, have now made their way back to 1 and 2. As we're going to get on the closing laps here of stage number 2. Take a look at the 41, and it's a second and a half up the road to his teammate Cliff Adams. All right, so we're going to get going a couple of laps, and then we're going to check in on our driver versus graphic and see if we can see which driver is, if Dickerson has any chance to reel Adams in before this stage is over with. We'll jump back here a little bit further through the pack. Again, we got Barker and Singleton going at it right here. Chris Farmer got his hands full with Aiden O'Neill. Aiden O'Neill now falls back to about 10th. Farmer right there behind him. We've got the 55 of Zuroff in on pit road. All right, trying to find you a good battle on the racetrack. Farmer's running in the back of O'Neill. So let's just go ahead and take a look at our versus cam here. Matt Dickerson and Cliff Adams. So since Matt has cleared that battle with Gardner and McLean, he's losing just a little bit of a lap over the last 5 laps. Let's get one more lap in. I mean, they're running within hundredths to a thousandths of a second here as they come across this time by the complete lap number 71. Just keep an eye on this battle. And it looks like they're pretty much just dead even at this point. Dickerson about 2/100ths of a second off the pace of his teammate right there in front of him. So I think this is how it shapes out without any mistakes. They've got 9 laps left to go here in stage number 2. Adams, Dickerson, Gardner, McLean. That's your top 4. Then it's Benedict Ringer. He's got back up to 5th. Williams falling back. Singleton now is, where did Jesse Singleton go? So Jesse Singleton appears to not be on the racetrack at the moment as we see him falling down the leaderboard and we don't see him out there. So Singleton may have disconnected. So the 51, last week's winner at Talladega, looks like he may be out of this race. Do not see him on the racetrack anywhere. All right, 7 laps left to go in stage number 2. Oh, that's supposed to be 40. That's why. All right, there we go. 7 laps left to go. It said 80. I know. I fixed it. All right. So Cliff Adams, Matt Dickerson. Where are we gonna go? McLean here, starting to reel back in the 41 of Gardner. This is for 4th. Jacob Barker now trying to catch Shane Williams. Shane had the lead, led about 29 laps of this race, but now falling back. And he used his stuff up early, and he is now falling back here to about 7th now as Barker's going to go by on the inside. Got a driver down on the bottom leaving pit road. That looked like Zuroff. It was in the 54. Mark Osher, our bigger mover of the race, up 13 spots. Up from 21st now all the way up to 8. Chris Farmer and Connor Fuser. And they've got Aiden O'Neill right there in front of them. So it's Farmer and O'Neill. This is for 9th and 10th right now. All right, everybody much single filed out here at this point. Just a few little battles going on. We take a look here at the 41 at Gardner. Once again, he's got Dylan McLean closing down the back. Our leader, Cliff Adams, about a second and a half, 1.4 seconds out in front of Matt Dickerson. Colton Gardner is now up to 3rd. McLean in 4th. Just a few laps left to go here in stage number 2, and we're going to see who can find something in that last 80 laps, that last part of this section, the stage of this race. Definitely going to have a green flag pit stop during that run if we go caution free as we have. Farmer down to the bottom of O'Neill. This is for 9th. Well, I thought Farmer had a better run than that. He's going to have to settle back. He drops back behind O'Neill there, and he's going to stay back there in the 10th spot. All right, we'll take a look here one more time up front. Adams, Gardner, Dickerson has closed that in just a little bit, but not enough. So we're going to ride along here with Farmer in the 31. This is one of the closest battles we have on the racetrack right now. This is like I said, this is for 9th with Farmer and O'Neill and Fuse right there kind of lurking in the background. Just a couple laps left to go here in the stage. And we ride along here with Farmer on the outside. You see just a little bit different grooves, and watch the run he gets off the corner right here. You can get off the top of the racetrack, keep your momentum up right there. You can see he closed about a car lane, but he's going to lose a little bit of ground getting into the corner right here. O'Neill gets in a lot better than he does, about a couple car lanes deeper. It's a little separation on him right here, so Farmer losing a little bit of ground there that lap. All right, we come across the line. Cliff Adams, our leader right now. Won stage number 1. He's looking to win stage number 2. He's going to come off at turn number 4. Come across the line. Caution flag is out. That is going to be the end of stage number 2. And just like the first stage, the 1 and 2 was Adams and Dickerson, but this time it's Gardner up to 3rd. Colton Gardner has a good car, but it looks like our 2 leaders have found something from the middle stint to the end. So Adams and Dickerson doing a good job. All right, let's see if we can grab Matt. Hey Matt, you got Chris in the booth, buddy. Are you there?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Hey, you know, I kind of called you falling back there at the start of that stage, but it looked like maybe that was a little strategy play. It looks like you and Cliff are playing a little bit the long game here. It looked good at the end of that stage right there.
Yeah, after that, after that first stage, both of our tire front right was at like 40 something. So I was like, damn, we better start saving. And then I was hoping I could save a little bit more than him at the beginning of that run, but still, I couldn't get him, man. He's really good at this track, so it's gonna be hard to beat him.
Yeah, Cliff looks really good out there. Both the Vortex Motorsports drivers looking really good, man. What are we gonna expect from you here at in the last 80 laps of this thing?
Probably a little bit of the same. Try to save at the beginning of a run, and then, I don't know how we're going to do this. We're going to split in half, but we'll see. Definitely got to try to save some tires, though, because, coming in and having 40% of the right front is not fun.
Yeah, well, good luck out there in the last stage, man. I'm sure, I would not doubt we're talking to you at the end of this race, but good luck out there, and hopefully it all comes together for you at the end.
Thanks, man. I also want to thank Patrick and Bully Dog Coffee, man. Hopefully I can get a podium for him.
All right, brother. We'll see you after the race.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right, Matt Dickerson. All right, we're going to take a little break, get ourselves something to drink as pit stops are underway. And it looks like Adams is going to make it back. Actually, Dickerson made it out in front of his teammate right there. Was that Adams driving away? No, Cliff Adams did. All right, so we're going to go and take a little break, get a little drink. So here's a word from AI Chief coming your way. And I'm trying to find my read-in, but I can't find my graphic here easy enough for you. So... All right, AI Chief Racing gives you real-time strategy, fuel calls, and a crew chief that actually tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Drive smarter, race better. AIChiefRacing.com.
Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind, and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
All right, we are back live. Give us a chance to get a drink of some Diet Coke and a ho-ho. So, probably not the best diet to have during a broadcast, but you got to go with what you got, right? All right, that's the end of the stages. We're going to go green, hopefully from here on out. So no more stage cautions. Cliff Adams, Dylan McClain made himself way back up to second. I'm not sure what happened to Matt. Hopefully we didn't get Matt a black flag for talking to him or something during the. I don't see a. Let's see. I'm not sure what happened to Matt right there. He is going to fall all the way back to 10th. Actually 12th at this point. All right, green flag in the air. Cliff Adams bringing us to the line. McClain to the outside. Gardner third right now with Ringer right there as well. And here comes Barker. Barker up to 5th. Look at Mark Osher. Osher up to 6th right now in the 71. And that's Sunoco number 71. He is coming to the front. Started way dead last in his field in 21st. He is now up to 5th. Now he gets around the outside of Barker. This racetrack is to the liking of Mark Osher, but now here's the battle for the lead. McClain now going to make his way around the outside of Adams. This is for the lead. Dylan McClain is going to lead us across the line. So another new leader here in this race. McClain now to the lead here on lap 84. Gardner right there as well. So we saw the strategy here from Adams and Dickerson earlier, kind of falling back a little bit, resting those tires early on in the stint. It looks like they may be doing the same thing. I do not know what happened to Matt Dickerson on his pit stop. He was must have missed a pit stall or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I thought he got out clean. All right, here's your battle for the lead. Adams looks back to the bottom. Off of 2, can't find any place to go. He's going to stay back there in second. McClain, Adams, Gardner, Ringer, Osher. That's your top 5. Mark Osher in the 71. Man, he is quick. He is coming all the way up through this pack. He's timed out the pit stop perfectly. He is now looking to the outside of Ringer for 4th. Oh, a little bit of contact with the outside wall. Comes down the racetrack. Just about gets into Barker. Puts a little concrete down the right side of the 71 right there. But Mark, and we've seen this from a couple guys early. We saw Shane Williams do it after stage number 1. Run that outside line, gain a lot of momentum, come towards the front, but unfortunately it looks like it tends to wear the tires off pretty quickly. As Adams now sticks the nose back up underneath the 23 for the lead. Can't quite make it. They're going to come off of turn number 4, across the line, wanting more time. It's going to be Dylan McClain leading this race. Dylan came into the league about partway through the season, and he's been fast week in, week out. He's had a little bit of bad luck here and there, but he is looking really good here tonight at Texas. Take a look here one more time. Williams now coming back to the front. Williams up there on the outside. He's got the 19er fuse to the inside. He's going to come up on O'Neal. So Shane Williams doing what he did earlier, almost a little bit of contact right there. O'Neal saw him coming and went down the racetrack. Gave O'Neal the top, or excuse me, gave Williams the top of the racetrack. Shane Williams making his way back up through this field. He now gets around O'Neal. That's for 7th. Hughes also trying to follow by McLean and Adams now side by side for the lead. This your battle down the back straightaway. Cliff Adams on the bottom. Dylan McLean to the outside. Colton Gardner right there with him. One, two, three, single file right here. Osher side by side with Ringer for 4th. Gardner down, picks up to the inside. Adams heading into 1. Adams pushes up the racetrack, gives him that bottom line. He's in the middle of the racetrack off of turn number 2. Here comes Gardner. Does not have the run down the back straightaway. Adams going to take 2nd spot. Look at Osher. He's going to look to the bottom of the Ringer. He gets off, jumps down from the top. A big move down to the bottom. The 71 doesn't look like it likes the bottom of the racetrack near as well as it does the top. But here comes Shane Williams now. One more spot for Shane. He's up to 6 as he gets around Barker. Watch that 25. He's really good on these short runs. If we get a late caution in this race, and that 25 is anywhere close to the front, he might have something for these guys. But he faded off towards the end of that last 40 laps right before the end of stage number 2. And it's a good battle up front. Cliff Adams now back to the bottom of McLean. Side by side off of 4, the 80 and the 23 across the line. Who's going to lead this time by it? Looks like it's going to be Cliff Adams back out in front across the line. McLean's going to settle down. He's going to find a spot down on the bottom of the racetrack behind Adams in front of Gardner. Ringer still in 4th, Osher 5th. Williams now closing in. He's back there in the 6th spot. Jump back here a little further. Matt Dickerson really hasn't been able to make up a lot of ground. He's still back here in the 11th. I'll see if he's saving something for a late charge. Osher goes down pit road. What happened to Mark? It looks like he is going to get a black flag for speeding. I think I see a little bit of damage on that right rear quarter. Let's see if we can see what happened to the 71. Going to come off of turn number 2 right here. Is this 4? Turn 4. Oh, Ringer got into the wall in front of him as he came down off the wall. Mark had to make a little evasive action. Unfortunately, it sent him down pit road. Contact with the pit wall. The 71 also going to get a black flag. I'm not sure if they're going to clear that for him or not. So Mark Osher had a really good run going. Let's take a look one more time at that and see what happened to Ringer. So we can see the 83 down here on the bottom of the racetrack. Comes off of 4 and he just drives into the outside wall. The car picks up a push. The 25 and the 71 both have to take evasive action. Osher down into the inside wall hard. Makes it back out onto the racetrack. I want to get back to live time. So unfortunate there for Mark Osher. Now back to 12th. Williams back to 10th. So both had good cars moving to the front, but they've got to make their way back up there once again. And Cliff Adams now about a half a second clear of Dylan McLean. Aiden O'Neal back here in the 5th spot. He has got Connor Fuse. Connor with a good run now. Connor now up to 6th. And I thought Bowling would have got his lap back on that stage, but it looks like Charlie Bowling still a lap down back there. He's back here in 14th. He's hoping for a caution, get the lucky dog, get back on the lead lap. All right, let's keep an eye here. Barker, O'Neal, Dickerson, they've kind of been around together most of the day. Matt Dickerson looks to the bottom of Barker. Excuse me, that's Fuse. Dickerson going by Connor Fuse now. So Matt Dickerson with a little problem there getting out of the pits earlier. I'm not sure if maybe he missed his pit stall or what happened there, but he's starting to make the ground back up here as he's now reeled in O'Neal. This is for 5th. Watch the 44 coming back to the front. Chris Farmer in the 31, also with a good run. He's up a few spots here. He's trying to get around the 19 of Hughes. This is for 7th. Right behind him is the 18 of Hunter Hughes. Hunter's a lap down after getting involved in a couple incidents early in this race. Look at Matt Dickerson looking underneath O'Neal. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Matt Dickerson trying to get back into the top 5. Not able to get all the way up alongside the 87. O'Neal goes back down, blocks the bottom of the racetrack. We haven't mentioned a couple of our sponsors. Corbin Matthews, country music singer. Check out Corbin. Had a new song come out earlier this week called When You Use It. He's got another new song coming out in a week or 2. Ron Kendall Masonry Incorporated. Also bringing you some coverage here from the Half Decent Racing League. All right, one more time. Dickerson looks to the inside of O'Neal. Side by side off of 4. I think he's got him this time if he can clear him through the trioval section. He's got the run into 1. Can he clear the 87? And it looks like he's going to do it. So Matt Dickerson now back up to 5th. Adams really not shaking McLean. It's about 0.6 of a second back to the second place running. The number 23 of Dylan McLean. Colton Gardner still right there as well. So the top 3 about 1.5 seconds away from each other right now. Adams not driving off into the sunset like we thought he might do. He may be saving some tires a little bit. We'll see how this works out for him. I think that's exactly what Matt Dickerson wanted to do, was save some tires on this run, but I think he's had to use them up to try to get back towards the front. Because he now has his sights set on the 12 of Barker. Pretty much single file all the way throughout the field at the moment. This is the closest battle on the racetrack. As we look back from the 12 car back to the 44. Wesley Pugh is going to dive down into the pits. He is a couple laps down at this point. Actually 16 laps down at this point for Wesley Pugh. Dickerson on the inside of Barker. We've seen Matt use that run. He's getting a good run off the 2 off the bottom of the racetrack, and he get his way around the 12 of Barker. And he's going to get around Barker a lot easier than get around O'Neal. So now here comes Matt Dickerson now back up to 4th. Let's see if he can make up any ground on the top 3. Barker comes back down to the bottom. He's not going to give it up easy. Barker to the bottom of the racetrack going into 1. Dickerson going to try to cross him over. You can see back out of the throttle right there in the center of the corner. He dives back up off the bottom. A little dirt track move right there for Matt Dickerson. He's going to try to get back to the bottom of Barker. And he is going to do it. Charlie Bowen's going to make his pit stop right here. 63 laps left to go. I would be surprised if they could make it all the way on fuel from here. We heard Matt during the caution during the second stage there. They weren't quite sure if they were going to try to split it in half, but I think that's exactly what you want to try to do if you can. Avoid any more pit stops than you have to. All right, Adams, McLean, Gardner, Dickerson, Barker. That's your top 5. That 18 car up alongside of O'Neal. That's a lap car of Hunter Hughes. Hunter's trying to get his way back up to the pack. Contact right there. Comes up the racetrack. Gets into the 87. Hunter Hughes finished on the podium last week. Not having as good of a run here this week. He's back in 15th. A couple laps down at this point. As a matter of fact, he is 3 laps down according to my timing and scoring. Hunter Hughes now really closing in on the back of O'Neal. All right, let's take a look here at our gap between Matt Dickerson and the leader, Cliff Adams. So since he's got clear of Barker into clean air, does he have any pace to catch a leader? And right now, he's losing a little bit of time. So we're going to see how that plays out here. It looks like that lap 103, he was still fighting it out with Barker. We'll see how this plays out. But right now, he's losing about 1/10 of a second to the leader. I see the same thing here looking at Gardner. Just about dead even on pace for the leader, but so not making up any ground, but not losing any either. And we'll do the same thing with McLean. One of our new toys here we like to use is some McLean actually just dead even on pace as well. So our top 3 pretty much running the same lap times right now. And you can see that just doing the eyeball test, they're not really getting a lot of separation between them. They're staying pretty tight right here. But we got 59 laps left to go. If they stay green, we're going to have to see at least one green flag pit stop is what I'm assuming at this point. Let's see who's the first one to flinch. All right, little battle going on back here. Shane Williams going to get underneath Farmer. This is for 8th and 9th. Right in front of him is the lap car, Charlie Bowling. I know Charlie had some real high hopes coming into this race, but not playing out for him real well. He did just pit, so he is on new tires, and you can see the advantage of the new tires. He is just charging his way through this field. Zuroff now going to make his way down pit road. And look at the 5 car just charging through these cars. Those fresh tires. Let's just see if we can let's compare to the leader here and just see how much faster lap times are. It's not going to work very well since he's a lap down, but we can see a couple laps that he is on the same lap, about 7 to 8 tenths of a second faster than the leader right there. So that is the difference from 4 tires, as he pitted only 3 laps left to go. So that is a 7 to 8 tenths of a second advantage with fresh tires, and actually Charlie's been coming through traffic at that point too, so that may be even a bigger difference than that. All right, Shane Williams has caught the back of O'Neal. This is for 6th and 7th. Williams has been quick. He just fell off at the end of that last run. He's trying to make up that ground that he lost at the end of stage number 2. Zuroff down there on the bottom of the racetrack, coming back up to speed after making his pit stop. Williams back up to the top. Off to the out hard into the outside wall. I think that was Connor Fuse. That was the 19 of Fuse. Hard contact. You can see the right side of the car just about looks pancaked. Man, he flattened the right side of that car. Connor Fuse with some heavy damage. He is going to have to come in here and pit, try to get that thing repaired, because he is now losing a lot of ground. Todd Rush starting to close in on him. Todd's now up 7 spots. He's up to 10th. The 55 with a good job. We haven't checked in on our race cams here in a while. You can see Todd right there on the top. Colt Gardner on the bottom. You can see the concentration as Gardner's now up to 2nd. As we're looking in the webcams, Gardner is going to get around Dylan McLean for the 2nd spot. McLean now back to the bottom. We got a black flag for Benedict Ringer. I'm guessing that might have been did he come into pit and got a black flag pitting? Looks like exactly what it was, speeding on pit road probably for the 83. All right, Gardner's going to take that 2nd spot away right there behind him. Look at Bowling. Bowling, I guarantee he's having fun. He's a lap down. He's probably not liking that, but watch him charge through the field on these fresh tires. He is going to get around McLean. He is going to drive right around Gardner and try to get one of his laps back. He is currently 3 laps down, but he is the first car any laps down. All right, lap 112 of 165, 53 laps left to go. Adams now 1.6 seconds out in front. Colton Gardner, Dylan McLean, Matt Dickerson, and Jacob Barker. That's your top 5. I look back here a little bit further. This is Chris Farmer in the 8th spot. He's still got Aiden O'Neal right there in front of him. Williams has now cleared O'Neal for that 6th spot. Cody Zuroff right there behind him as well. And just right behind this group, Cody is a lap down at this point, as he just made his pit stop here just a few laps ago. Oh, Bowling gets a little bit loose right there as we chipped over to check out the leader. Got a little bit loose. He was unlapping himself from Cliff Adams. Let's go back and see if we can see that again. You can see, oh, he gets in the grass right there, gets her sideways. Cliff Adams had to be holding his breath. I think Cliff just saw that and backed off and said, "You go right ahead." All right. Dylan McLean's closed it back up on the back bumper of Gardner, but I think Gardner's just got a little better pace at this point. He's starting to give a little gap on him here, about 2 or 3 car lengths. Ringer now right there behind him as Ringer came down to pit road. Ringer's now down a lap or 2 at this point as well. He lost a couple of laps there on the pit stop. He's coming back up through the field here, so watch the 83. Mark Osher going to find his way down pit road. So 49 laps left to go in this race. We're seeing pit stops. So our leaders pitted back on lap 81, which is only 35 laps ago, if my math is correct. But we're seeing a lot of drivers. We ran 40 laps early. I'm surprised so many drivers are pitting this early. I don't know if they're trying to plan on 2 stops or they think they can get one in and make it from here. So Farmer and O'Neill's trades are actually Neil's just blinking off the screen, but O'Neill's right there in front of the 31. Connor Fuse going to come down pit road. Osher back down pit road. So Mark Osher makes his way out of the pits after having a really good run until getting involved, going down through the grass, slamming into the inside wall. So Mark lost a couple of laps right there, but he is trying to get back into this race. Adam's still out in front of this thing. Keep watching my leaderboard. O'Neill must be blinking on and off the screen. Here comes Zerhoff now on the outside, trying to get around Farmer, trying to get one of his laps back. All right, thanks for being here again. My name is Chris Murphy with DRSN, bringing you all the coverage every Friday night for the Half Decent Racing League. So we got lots more racing coming your way over the next few days. Tomorrow night, we will be here for the JWR E-Racing Craftsman Trucks at Talladega Money Racing, the Saturday Night Fever for JWR. If you like some good super speedway racing, I know what I'm trying to say, but my mouth just doesn't. Don't miss that one tomorrow night. And then Tuesday night, we're back for the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series. And that's one of my favorite series to cover. I love some good dirt racing. I spent 25 plus years on the dirt track myself, so anytime I get a chance to call a dirt race, I'm going to jump right on it. And it's a treat to cover that Dirty Old Bastards series. Just some of the best racing you're going to see on all of iRacing. Don't miss that one. The same night, we come back later that evening. The Dirty Old Bastards at 9 o'clock, and then 11 o'clock Eastern, we're back for the Western Racing League Truck Series as we're watching Matt Dickerson make his way around Colton Gardner now. Around Dylan McLean. This is for third. But Dickerson's showing some, getting his pace back up there after falling back on after stage number 2. Is now making his way back up into the podium spot. He's back up to third. But Matt Dickerson, or Colton Gardner's about 3 seconds up the road right now, so, or excuse me, the leader's about 3 seconds up. He's only got about a second to get to Gardner. So let's see if Matt Dickerson can reel in Colton Gardner. We're going to take a look here at the comparison of the 2 drivers here, and you can see Matt Dickerson's faster every single lap. According to the prediction here on our graphic, he is going to catch the second place car in about 6 laps. We're going to see how that plays out. We'll keep an eye on it. This is one of our new toys we got from our buddy Shane Cochran over Collateral Sports Damage, or Collateral Damage Sports Network. Just put that one together in the last few days. It's really, really fun to play with. So it's something we don't have, something you're not going to see in a lot of other places. All right, McLean now back to 4th. A lot of separation all the way throughout the field on this long green flag run like you would expect to see. Cliff Adams, I almost said Colton Adams. It's Cliff Adams and Colton Gardner running 1-2, about 2 seconds between them. And Matt Dickerson now about a half a second away from the 41. So that 6 laps might have been an overestimation because it's only been a couple, and he is already about 3 car lengths off the back of the 41. We jump on the nose here of the 44, and you can see Colton Gardner right up there in front of him. You can just see how much deeper Matt's able to drive the car into the corner, and he gets a really good run off as well. So you can see just that corner alone, he gained about, from the eyeball test, about 2 car lengths probably, and gained another one down the front straightaway. So Matt Dickerson is about to take second back. He finished second at the end of stage number 1, second at the end of stage number 2. Fell back after the pit stop, and he's now made his way back up into the top 3, and he looks like he's about to make his way back up into second. Keep an eye on it. We're also got this battle back here. This is Connor Fuse and Aiden O'Neill. This is for 10th and 11th. Fuse in 10th. O'Neill down on the bottom. Fuse on the top. Dylan McLean's going to pit. Our 4th place driver is going to come down pit road. as we got 40 laps left to go, so we know anybody that pits right now can make it off fuel. They made 40 laps earlier on the stages. Mark Osher pitted earlier. He's a lap car. He's definitely faster than the cars in front of him. He's going to make it 3 wide right here. Matt Dickerson just says, no, you can have that. I'm going to back out of this. So Dickerson falls back a little bit. Pretty aggressive move by the lap car, Mark Osher, to jump back up, jump in that battle right there for the top 3, but he had some pace and he was going to show it. As our leader now pits, Cliff Adams dives down pit road. And right away, Matt Dickerson gets back up underneath the bottom of Gardner. This is now a battle for the lead. So green flag pit stops are happening right now. Let's see if Dickerson drops down pit road right here. Gardner kind of stuck on the top. They're off of turn number 4 right now. Let's see if anybody knows they're going to go around at least one more lap. Side by side for the lead. They got the lap car of Wesley Fuse right there in front of him in the 58. He moves up out of the way. Only 3 cars left on the lead lap. They get the pit. It's Dickerson, Gardner, and Barker now. They've got to pit here sometime soon. 38 laps left to go in this race, and it looks like the 44 might be getting in position to come down pit road. And that's exactly what he's doing. Gardner was kind of on the outside. He couldn't pit with him, so Matt Dickerson now. Oh, has to get on the brakes hard. Did he make it? Did he not get a black flag? Let's take a look at our timing and scoring. Matt Dickerson with a black flag. He got into the pits too quick. A black flag for the 44. That is going to take his chance. That is going to take him out of the chance to win this race if we stay green. So it gets on pit road a little too quick. Black flag for Matt Dickerson. So that is going to put Colton Gardner on the racetrack out in front. Jacob Barker second. They've still yet to pit. Cliff Adams, this is going to be our leader once these pit stops cycle through. He's back here in 4th, and he has 3 seconds back to Dylan McLean. So Matt tried a little bit different strategy right there, but unfortunately just got down into the pits a little too hot. And he has to serve that penalty. That's going to cost him a couple of laps. All right, we're watching Cliff Adams. This is going to be our leader here in a minute. Colton Gardner still out on the racetrack, so Colton really stretching this run out. And we just saw what a big difference new tires, but Jacob Barker's going to come down and pit, our second place driver. Shane Williams also had a black flag on his pit stop. Matt's not cleared his black flag, but he's way down in the 11th. As we watch Barker come down pit road, Gardner now. Gardner down on the bottom of the racetrack. Is he going to pit this time by? It looks like he is. All right, your leader in the 41. He is going to come down to pit. Let's see if pitting here late. Let's see. Adams pitted back on lap 126. So it's only about 4 or 5 laps difference on these tires. I think maybe Colton's thinking maybe he can go a little bit long here. This Colton will jump on board with him as he makes his way down pit road. And you can see the pit crew swarm the car. He's going to look like he's going to take 4. See if he only takes 2 here. Let's keep an eye on the 41. No, he's taking 4 tires. You can see the crew jumping around the left side. We don't get to see that on the screen, but we get to see it from the in-car cam. So, all right, your leader once again is the 80 of Adams. Gardner now coming off the pit road. And Adams is going to be way down the road at this point. McLean to second. O'Neill to third. So those extra couple of laps from Gardner running those slower lap times actually hurt him. Looks like McLean may have only taken 2. He only had 11-second pit stop. About 4/10 of a second, or 4/10 of a second slower. Let's see if we can see our pit stop stats here. But Adams taking 4. McLean did take 2. O'Neill with 4. Everybody else with 4. Quinn McLean also taking 2. And some repairs going on for Ringer and Dickerson. I'm thinking that says repairs, but that's actually a black flag clear is what that is. All right. So this is Cliff Adams' race to lose. He's got over a 4-second lead. 33 laps left to go. We look at our lap leaders of this race. He has led the most, led 90 laps of this race. We've got 5 different leaders. Adams, Williams, Dickerson, Dylan McLean, and Colton Gardner have all led laps in this race. But this is all Cliff Adams right now. If this stays green, it's up to him. Just no mistakes right here, and he's going to come home with a victory here tonight. because it is a ways back now, almost 5 seconds to Dylan McClain. You can see him all the way down the straightaway. Aiden O'Neill right there in the third spot. Gardner in fourth. I think we're going to see Gardner with some good pace here. Let's take a look here real quick at... Let's see the difference between O'Neill and Gardner. So they pitted right there. So on the out lap there, lap 133, Gardner about 4/10 of a second faster than O'Neill. He's got 10 laps of newer, fresher tires on the car. We'll check in that again after they get a few more laps in. We had another new thing we didn't get to show. This is our pit stop cycle, and you can see McClain and Todd Rush Jr. Oh, Gardner into the wall right there as we're looking at this. So you can see total pit time. This counts in lap, how much time you're on the pit, how much time you're in the box on your out lap as well. And you can see total time right here. Dylan McClain with the fastest pit cycle of anybody at a 1:02.55. Todd Rush Jr. right there with him. So this is another new graphic. We got something to play with. This came out today. I thought we'd give it a little look, but right now, Adams just keeps stretching this out. It's now 5.2 seconds back to McClain. And the fastest car on the racetrack last time by was Colton Gardner, a 30.3, about 7/10 of a second faster than the leader. So those tires fell off quick for Cliff Adams, but I don't think Gardner's going to have enough time, or he's going to run out of tires on that car before he gets up there. Bowling now in the 5. Right there in front of our leader. Charlie about to lose another lap at this point. He's way up on the top of the racetrack. Adams coming by on the bottom. So Charlie goes another lap down. We've got 10 cars left on lead lap right now. Mark Osher in the 71, the last car on the lead lap, and actually he is right there. You can see a caution is out. Caution flies. It looks like it's for Chris Farmer. If I can find Farmer and Todd Rush Jr. Some heavy damage on the front of the 55 and the 31. Todd was just a second car back off the lead lap. Let's see if we can see what happened here. We see Farmer on the bottom of the racetrack. That is Ringer in the middle. Fuse way up on the top. So Fuse and Ringer are going to get together, and I think I know exactly what's going to happen. Ringer's going to come down. Actually, a little bit of neck code there maybe, because it actually looked like they didn't even touch. But that's going to put Farmer into the outside wall. And as he comes down off the wall, I think what we're going to see is the 55. And Todd Rush. I'm sorry, Todd. I got to call you out for that one. But I don't think Todd, I don't know if Todd wasn't looking far enough ahead or what happened there, but it looked like Farmer's been sitting there for a little while, and here comes the 55. Let's jump with a little bit different camera angle. As you can see him get together, Farmer. And you can see way back in the distance, you can see the 55 coming off the corner. And I think he might have thought he had him cleared, but unfortunately, Farmer's sitting right there in the middle of the racetrack, and Todd just zeroed in on the passenger side door. So some heavy damage there for both of them. All right, back to live time. We got 27 laps left to go. Adam's still your leader. This is going to give everybody a chance to come down to get 4 fresh tires again. Let's see who gets the lucky dog back. See, Matt Dickerson is a lap down. Is he going to be the lucky dog here? We'll see how this... He needs to stay out on the racetrack if he wants to get back on the lead lap. All right, let's jump in our in-car cams here real quick. You can see Todd and Colton just on pit road. All right, we're going to take advantage of this, get a quick drink real quick. We're going to have... So while we're gone for a couple minutes, here's a little word from Admin Box. Use the code DRSN-box, that's BOXX, for a discount on your order. right, we are back to live time. The lights are out on the pace car. We're rolling through turn number 1 and 2. You know, we haven't shown you the pit. Did not get a chance to show you the choose cone car here. Corey Bodeno. We usually give him some good camera time. We haven't had the opportunity to do it tonight. So Corey pulls out on the racetrack, gives everybody a spot to choose top or bottom of the racetrack. That's why you see so many black flags when we go back to racing. But look who made his way to the front. Aiden O'Neill. So let's see if we can pull up our pit stop stats here real quick as we're making the way down in turn number 3. Everybody with 4 tires, but Adams fell all the way back to 5th, and I don't see why, at least not from this graphic, but it looks like pretty even on the pit stats. But as you can see, Adams just did not get in and out of the pits very well, so he's going to fall back right there. So, all right, Matt Dickerson's got himself back on the lead lap. He's up to 9th. We're going to have 25 lap sprint. It's a Saturday night feature event, 25 laps here. Aiden O'Neill, Colton Gardner, Jacob Barker. That's your top 3. Dylan McLean in 4th. Cliff Adams in the 5th spot after leading so much of this race now up to 5th. And I think, if I'm correct, I think I heard Todd Rush join us in the booth. Todd, are you there, buddy?
Yep, I got cleared from the infield medical center, and I made my way up here to watch the rest of the race with you, buddy.
Well, good to see you're okay after that hard contact with the 31, a Farmer. That looked like a pretty hard lick there, my friend.
Yeah, it didn't feel good. That's for sure.
Got Gardner going around.
They're going around.
Gardner got a little bit loose right there. Contact with McLean. Oh, here comes Dickerson's going to get into the back of the 41. We've got the big one here at Texas. Dickerson going to get involved. Gardner involved. Let's go back and take a quick look at that and see what happened. It always tends to happen. I look away for just a second and all hell breaks loose. So let's see here. Off of 4. We see Gardner on the outside, Barker down there on the bottom. We got Dylan McLean right there behind him. Your 80 car of Adams in the picture as well. Let's speed this up a little bit. We're going to be here all night long. So we see Gardner coming down the racetrack. I don't think he knew the 12 was there. They make contact. That gets him loose. He wiggles up the racetrack, comes back down, collects a 23 of McLean. And here comes Dickerson, just plows into the back of the 41. Nowhere to go. I see Connor Fuse up there as well, with a little bit of getting into the, look like the spinning 41 as well. So, oh man, so a bunch of our lead cars here tonight, Todd, find themselves in some trouble and heavy damage on Dickerson, Gardner, and it also looks like maybe Dylan McLean as well.
Hey, it looks like 3 of the fastest cars out there, man, just got involved. And, that sucks because we were going to have a good finish here, especially if Cliff found his way back to the front. Now it looks like this is going to be Cliff's race to win and run away with here if he can get past this couple of guys.
Yeah, Matt, I was not quite sure what happened to Matt on the earlier caution when he found his way to the back, and then he got a black flag on that green flag pit stop, sent him towards the back, and he got himself back on the lead lap here. I really thought we were going to have a battle at the end of this thing, but like you said, Cliff's, I mean, you look up towards the front of the car, who's in the front right now, and Cliff has been the fastest car at anybody that's left in the top 5. I think Cliff, if he can get to the front, he may just drive away with this. As we look at Jacob Barker, Mark Osher, Dylan McLean, Connor Fuse, all going to go down here, take advantage of this caution. They were the last few cars on the lead lap, so why the hell not? Go down there, get some tires, see if they can make a charge.
And if they were on the same strategy as me, they had another set left, so might as well go get them last tires and see if they can, get anything here for Cliff Adams, which they know has been the fastest car all night.
So it looks like Colton Gardner was given an EOL, popped up on the screen right there. I'm not sure if that was a race control or another issue, but Colton still down there trying to get some repairs done. I don't think Colton really had a lot of damage from earlier on. You would think he has a fast repair left, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe he used it up early because you can see the heavy damage right there on the 41. The right side and the back just all tore up.
Yeah, from what I heard from race control, it sounds like Colton got the at fault there, which is going to unfortunately put him in the back. I think that was his first one, so it should just be an EOL after he gets fixed up here.
So one thing that confuses me a little bit with iRacing after spending so many years around the racetrack, I mean, it was not really, it was an at fault right there of Gardner for not really knowing Barker was there, but it looks a lot like a racing incident, but it always seems like race control always wants to give somebody the blame for something and either black flag him, put him at the end of the line, park him for a little bit or something. So it's always been the one thing that just kind of confuses me a lot with the sim racing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Corey. He seems to always want to put at fault on somebody. We have talked to him. Told him racing incidents happen. He has gotten better with it, like the one between Chris that took me out with who was that, Chris and Benedict. I think someone else. He ended up calling that a racing incident. And I guess maybe he found something here that just made him turn the other way on this one.
Well, unfortunate there for Colton. Colton had a good run. He got himself up to the front after starting back in 14th. Had a really good run all night long. But it looks like his day is going to be done. Not only getting a penalty there, but he's also still on pit road trying to get some repairs. It looks like I don't see Matt Dickerson also trying to get some repairs. He must have used up his fast repair early because he's still in the pits as well. We've got only 6 cars left on the lead lap right now, which is really surprising that we've had so many cars with so much damage, as much green flag racing as we've had. That is really only about the second or third maybe caution. We've had 4 cautions, 4 incident, but it was a big one right there.
Yeah, everyone was driving pretty good the whole time, and it just seems like here towards the end, guys are trying to get a little bit more aggressive, and I think we've seen the aftermath of that.
All right, so
maybe a little ramped up.
Yeah, 20 laps left to go. As we called it at 25, this is basically a Saturday night main event right now. They're coming down to the line here. It's going to be O'Neill, Adams, McLean, actually both McLeans, 3rd and 4th, Ringer, and 5th, Barker. That's our top 6 cars. All in lead lap, and 8 O'Neill with a good restart. He's going to clear Cliff Adams down into 1. And let's see if Adams can run him back down. I think this is really much Cliff's race to win at this point, unless somebody else has found a little pace. And look at the 21 of Quinn McLean. We have not really talked about him all day. He is now up 11 spots, now up to 2nd.
Yeah, Quinn's one of them guys, man. He just kind of gets unlucky through the race, and it's kind of cool to see him up here kind of battling with Dylan there in the McLean family.
So Adams is going to get by pretty easily on the outside. Dylan McLean as well. Here comes Benedict Ringer, who was involved in a caution earlier, but he's got himself back on lead lap, back in the top 5. He is trying to get around Quinn McLean now in the 21. So let's see if Ringer can make his way up. But right now, up front, and look what we just missed. We missed Adams. As I was screwing around looking at 4th and 5th, Adams is going to take the lead. O'Neill all the way back to 3rd. So Cliff Adams to the point with 18 laps left to go. So it's Dylan McLean right there behind him. Quinn McLean actually now up to 3rd. Quinn McLean gets around O'Neill. So O'Neill just falling back. Oh, and I'm seeing why right now. O'Neill took tires back on lap 121. Dylan McLean took tires here back on lap 144. You know what? There's a five lap difference between tires. And how much difference those tires have been out there tonight when you've been able to put them on the car?
Oh, it's been a big difference. Especially for me, I was trying to save towards the front, and that's how I was kind of chasing some of the packs down towards the end, and unfortunately didn't work out for me too well there in the end. But yeah, these tires, they kind of, once you're pushing, they go about after 10, maybe 11 laps, you start feeling a big difference.
And look at that, Dylan McLean, 5 lap fresher tires. He's going to make his way around Cliff Adams. Let's see if Cliff can hang on here to those tires kind of balance out a little bit. 16 laps left to go. McLean, Adams, McLean. That is your top 3. So Adams right now finds himself as a McLean sandwich. And Quinn McLean actually starting to close in as well. So we've got good pace right there from the 21.
You can see Aiden back here. He definitely fallen off. He kind of pitted before, I want to say about 5 laps before my caution.
Yeah.
So he's definitely on way less fresher tires out there.
Yeah, according to the timing and scoring, Aiden pitted back on lap 121, so he has got almost 20 laps on older tires on just about anybody. As you can see, Farmer right here. Farmer's a lap down, but he's trying to get back by Shane Williams. Shane has been one of the fastest cars all night long on new tires. He's making his way back up through the field right now. He's up to 7th. You got Charlie Bowling to his outside right there, and they're kind of rubbing fenders here through 1 and 2. As Bowling, actually, you know what? I just realized Charlie Bowling is back on lead lap. This is for position. This is for 7th and 8th.
I just heard over the radio too. Charlie and Shane kind of giving us a friendly jog there, saying it's some good racing between the two.
Yeah, you know,
having a good battle back here.
Charlie has been laps down so long in this race. I did not even realize he's back on the lead lap. So let's see if he can find a groove right here. Got involved in that incident early. Back up front right here. Look at this battle. Here comes Adams now down the back straightaway. He's going to look underneath Dylan McLean into 3. The 80 has a good run down here. And Dylan McLean, we saw this earlier. He's kind of using that tactic where he's giving Adams just enough room on the bottom of the racetrack, but not too much room. And that does not let Adams move the car up off the corner. But getting down into 1, it looks like Cliff might have a better run here.
Dylan kind of shooting down to the bottom there, taking a little air off, and Cliff's going to come right out in front of it here. And Dylan, I mean, he's been looking for his first win since season 1 with us here in NASCAR. And I know he's been pushing hard for us. I know he's not going to let Cliff just walk away with it.
Our Baxter, Minnesota driver, you can see, I'm probably sure that's here with his go-kart right there. Up to second, he started in 3rd, so his top 2 guys have been right up front all night long. Dylan McLean's had a good hot rod. He's had a chance to win some races in the last few weeks, but just had a little bad luck go his way. But he's right here battling it out with Cliff Adams. This is going to be the race for the lead with only about 11 laps left to go. 10.5 now as they're halfway down the back straightaway. And Quinn McLean back there in the 3rd spot. But right now, it is going to come down to Cliff Adams and Dylan McLean.
Dylan trying to get that run here. I just don't know if he's going to have anything for Cliff. Cliff's tough to beat on these 1.5 miles.
Yeah, he's looked good all night long. Let's take a look at our lap leaders here real quick. So Cliff has led exactly right at 100 laps here tonight. Shane Williams was 16, Dickerson was 14. McLean, O'Neill, and Gardner have all led laps, but right now it is all Cliff Adams. We called it at the end of that, when we went back to green flag, it was Cliff's race to win, but Dylan McLean is giving him all he can handle right here. As they come off of turn number 4, going to come across the line, 9 laps left to go.
I'm kind of just wondering, though, if Dylan trying to make up too much ground here and panicking is going to just run his tires off. And Cliff, he kind of getting that kind of, cooler mindset. He knows what he can do with that car and not run the tires off as much.
All right, so I had called Charlie back on the lead lap, but now I'm looking at it, and he is still down a lap. So Shane Williams and Bowling are both down a lap. That's the battle for the last, to find the lucky dog spot if we get another caution flag, which we're pretty well separated out here all throughout the field. I mean, right here, this is the closest battle we have on the racetrack, and you can see it's about 10 car lengths between Adams and McLean. Everybody's separated out on the racetrack pretty well right now. It's a little ways back to the 3rd place running Quinn McLean, Benedict Ringer up in 4th. So O'Neill right back in the 5th spot. He has got Jacob Barker way back behind him. Here comes Matt Dickerson, going to make his way around the outside of O'Neill. Matt is a lap down at this point after getting involved in that last caution and getting some lengthy repairs. But he's still got a good car. He's going to try to get up there as far as he can. He's racing for points. He's leading the point standings. And you know what? As he said, Jesse Singleton had a good car tonight, but I think Jesse must have had some kind of internet connection or something like that, because he just disappeared about halfway through this race.
Yeah, it popped up that he dropped due to packet loss, and unfortunately, when that happens, guys, they don't even try to come back because they know they're going to be a few laps down by that point.
Yeah, I wish that's something we could get on our timing and scoring. We don't have that available to us, and of course, I'm not going to bring that up on the screen from the iRacing menu, but on the HUD there. But yeah, that's did not know that. I kind of figured that's what it was. The way he just kind of disappeared. Are we down to
we've thrown around the idea of trying to get guys wave arounds if they come back in if they were on the lead lap before they disconnected, but it kind of opens a can of worms we didn't want to look into too much.
Yeah, I guess you could just look at it like it's a, it's a breakdown. It's a technical issue. Like Matthew Hobbs went out early because his computer got hot, so unfortunately it's like breaking a race car at the racetrack. So
very true.
All right, so way out in front is Adams now, almost a second clear of McLean. 5 to go as he went by the stripe this time. Sorry, I kind of cut you off there.
No, you're good. So is that what happened to Hobbs then? He had computer issues?
Yeah, he jumped up in the chat on the YouTube and said, on the channel, it said, out of the race because the computer got hot.
Oh, no. We seen him disconnect. We weren't sure what happened.
All right, we're going to come across the line. 4 laps left to go for Cliff Adams to pick up another win here. Half-decent race in the Xfinity Series. My name is Chris Murphy. We've got Todd Rush up in the booth with us here. Unfortunately, Todd would rather be out there in the race car, but nice enough to join us in the booth here towards the end of this.
I definitely appreciate the invitation here.
So let's see if we can find some more information right here. So Cliff I'm counting right now. So this will be Cliff's 3rd win on the season. If he can pick up this win tonight, I had to go with the Sim Racer Hub and count. I should have this information in front of me somewhere, but you know how it goes. So 3 laps left to go for Cliff Adams in the 80. Dylan McLean starting to fade back, but he's pretty secure there in the 2nd spot. It's another little gap, about 2 seconds back to Quinn McLean and Benedict Ringer a little bit more down the road. Aiden O'Neill restarted this last caution with the lead, but he is now back to 5th. Jacob Barker in the 6th spot. That is your 6th lap, your 6 cars on the lead lap. As we watch Cliff Adams come across the line, and he is going to take the white flag this time around. One more lap. There's 2 laps to go or 1? 2 laps left to go. Sorry, I was a lap early.
Oh, good. Yeah, I heard it come over the radio. 2 laps to go this time around.
So 2 laps. Okay, lap and a half now. He's halfway down the back chute. Getting closer to what I said a second ago. All right, so Adams with about a 2-second advantage now back to McLean. Let's see if we can. I can't find a wide enough angle to see both of them in the shot at the same time. We'll go to a chop. I can't get it with chopper view. All right, white flag in the air. Cliff Adams, win number 3, a lap away here at Texas. It's 2 seconds now back to Dylan McLean in the 23, Quinn McLean in the 21. So McLean. I feel like we're at Die Hard at on the Nakatomi Tower, but so it's going to be Cliff Adams rolling through 3 and 4 for the last time tonight. He's going to come off at turn number 4. You can see the checkered flag in the air. Through the triover section, Cliff Adams brings home the win, leads the most laps, brings home the win here at Texas.
Way to go, Cliff.
Dylan McLean's going to come in the 2nd, Quinn McLean 3rd, Benedict Ringer in the 4th spot. Aiden O'Neill just crossed the line in 5th, and here comes Jacob Barker. Is going to come across in the 6th position. Shane Williams in 7th. Charlie Bolin recovers. Does a nice job of recovering. Gets himself back up into 8th. You can see him coming off of turn number 4 here. Down for turn number 2. So Bolin in 8th. Matt Dickerson had a really good car all night long. Comes home in 9th. And definitely not what he wanted. Chris Farmer in 10th. Colton Gardner also with a little bad luck tonight. He's going to come home in the 11th spot after having a really good car all night long. But right now, there's your winner, Cliff Adams. He's going to burn it down on the start-finish line. All right, Cliff, we got to go practice your spin-outs here a little bit. He's going to park it there on the front sheet. Here comes our podium. Let's see if we can get a good view of our podium. Maybe one of our fan cams have a good view of it. Well, let's see the fence. That's not very good. There we go. That's a better shot. All right, so there's our podium. Cliff Adams, Dylan McLean, and Quinn McLean. So I'm looking by the pictures I have on my podium finish. I'm assuming Quinn is Dylan's dad. Do you know?
So I think Sean is Dylan's dad and Quinn is Sean's brother.
Okay, all right.
If I'm remembering correctly.
All right, so that is going to be our podium right there. That's a great shot on the start-finish line. Okay, so now Cliff's going to try to do some donuts here. A little better job this time. All right, let's take a look here in the Discord to see if we got anybody in the waiting room. All right.
Put it in.
Hey, Cliff. Hey, you're up in the booth here with me and Todd.
How you doing?
Good, man. It looks like not good as you though. You go out there and you win a race tonight, buddy. How you feeling after that?
Oh, it feels good to finally put one together. I mean, I know I won a couple, but made a couple mistakes here the last few weeks at the end of these races, and finally made a good pit stop at the end there and was able to finish it off.
Well, you and Matt looked like to be the class of the field. Unfortunately, you had a little better luck. Matt, not so well. But you guys had a good strategy all throughout the night. Kind of tell us what your, what you saw as your evening played out, especially right there at the end on that last restart when you had to make your way through some traffic.
Well, the key here is saving tires and not burning them off too fast. Don't burn off that right front. 1 and 2 gets pretty tough. But yeah, that last restart, it was. I was hoping I'm not really good on short runs. I tend to naturally go, take it easy on the short run. But Dylan was fast in 3 and 4 on the short run, and I let him get out in front of me there for a little bit. And I mean, I couldn't hold him off anyway, but I was like, well, maybe if I let him stay there for a couple laps, I'll be able to get him back. And luckily, I did. Second to last run, he stuck with me for a little bit longer on the long run, so I didn't know for sure if I'd be able to get around him, but I was able to get back around him after a couple laps and close it out.
Well, fantastic job out there tonight. We come back next Friday night, and I I don't even remember where we are next Friday night. I'm really unprepared this evening for some reason. But
Watkins Glen next
well,
week.
while we're on the road course next weekend, thank you, Todd.
No problem.
So how you feel about the road course next week? Watkins Glen's always one of my favorite racetracks in any sim I've ever been on. So that should be a fun one next week.
Feel pretty good there. It's one of my favorite road courses. I I think last time we were there, I did pretty good. But there, I mean, we always got, some ringers in here. Like, uh, was it if Brendan shows up, he's really quick. Matt's usually pretty quick too. I can't remember who it was I was racing last time at the last road course we did, but he's really quick. There's a couple quick
Jesse.
guys here on road courses. Is Jesse? Yeah.
Jesse, yeah.
Yeah, Jesse, he's really quick on road courses too. So I don't know what I could do. I'm just hoping to pull off a top 5, get a good point, stay out of it. But if I end up contending for the win, that'll be great too.
Well, congrats on another victory, third win of the season. But before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Todd, admin Zach, Steven, Cody, admins, Corey for doing race control, putting up with us, and you for putting on this really good broadcast for us, and all the boys at Vortex Motorsports, Matt, Brendan, Steven. It's all the guys, good group of guys to race with. It's really fun.
All right, brother. Well, have a good rest of the weekend, and I'm sure we'll see you next Friday night.
All right, see you then.
Yeah. All right, second place finish. Let's get a second place finish for Dylan McLean. Dylan, are you there, buddy?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
You got me and Todd up here, or me by saying Chris. I'm not just supposed to assume you know who the hell I am. So Chris and Todd in the booth. Good job out there, man. You had a shot at it. Is there anything you think you could have done just a little bit different to move up one more spot and knock Cliff down?
Honestly, no, I don't think so. Cliff was the class of the field tonight. He was a lot better in 1 and 2 than I was. I feel like sometimes in 3 and 4 I was a little better, but I drove the hell out of my car, and obviously in the last 5-7 laps I didn't have any car left. But no, I don't think I had anything for him. He was pretty dominant.
Well, you look good all night long. I know you've been fast. Later part of the season here, you've been good every week. Just a little bit of bad luck here and there. So a good podium finish here tonight. How do you feel? I know we were just talking to Cliff about next week at Watkins Glen. How do you like the road courses?
Oh boy, not a huge road course guy. I don't mind them, but definitely be a challenge for sure.
Well, fantastic run tonight, man. I know we're gonna talk to you a lot. We got a lot more races left to go. I think we race all the way in November sometime. So we got a bunch of races left to go this season. So I'm sure we're gonna talk to you a lot more. But before you go, anybody you want to give a thanks to?
Yeah, I'll shout out my uncle who got third. Great run by him. My dad, both my brothers, my mom, my girlfriend. Thanks to my uncle who designs all our cars and everything we do. And thank you guys for running the league. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Well, good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you again.
Thank you. You too.
All right, let's get our third place finisher. Quinn McLean, you got Chris and Todd up in the booth, man. Are you there?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, man. You know what? We've not had a chance to talk all season. Fantastic. Is this your first podium of the season?
It is. It is. Yeah, you don't get to talk to me too much. I don't usually have the pace to be up on the podium, but I'll take it.
Well, you know what?
I'll take it.
A little. As my old man always said, I'd rather be lucky than good any day. And I know you were quick out there tonight, but a little luck goes a long way, and you took advantage of every opportunity. Found yourself in third. You have anything else? You think you had anything for Dylan or Cliff if you could have got up there?
No, I didn't. I really wanted to get up and play with those guys, but I didn't quite have it. But yeah, I started out pretty slow tonight. Then I kind of figured 1 and 2 out a little better, and then I was able to get a little bit of pace. But I didn't really have a top 3 car, to be honest. But yeah, it's all good. Fun to be on the podium.
Yeah, and I know for me when I run these 1.5 mile tracks, I'm a little dirt track racer, so I drive it down. I drive these things in way too deep, a lot deeper than I should, and I get on these 1.5 miles, and I burn the right front tire off these things in about 10 laps. So how did it feel out there tonight? I mean, just how quick was that right front tire going away on you, and just how much better did those new tires feel when you could get them under you?
Oh yeah, they would go away pretty quick. And the new tires obviously felt like, oh my God, this is awesome. And I think the stop before the last one, I tried 2 tires, just right sides. It was the green flag stop, and and I was so loose after that. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, the new shoes really helped. I didn't quite. I don't remember where my wear was. I think maybe down in the 40s after a long run. But yeah, geez, it's just new shoes for definitely the way to go.
Well, fantastic job. Good job on the podium tonight. But before you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I know the other smoke train guys, my brother Sean and nephew Dylan. You just talked to him. They keep pushing me to practice and do more. So we've been getting after that, and thank Todd and the guys at HDRL putting this on, and you for broadcasting, and that's all I got.
All right, brother. Well, we're going to let you go, and good luck for the rest of the weekend. We'll see you later on in the season.
Right on, sounds good.
You bet.
Thanks, boys.
You bet. All right, I'm going to see if I'm going to steal them out of, I'm sure they're in there talking right now. Hey, Matt, you got Chris in the booth. Are you there?
What's up, buddy?
All right. We usually, you probably didn't expect for us to bring you in, but kind of tell us about your night. Yeah, I brought you up in the booth on that one caution, and then all of a sudden it looked like you lost about 10 spots. Was that my fault?
No, that wasn't your fault. That was just me, man. I sped come off pit road trying
Oh, gotcha.
to friggin' beat the two guys behind me off pit road, and I just floored it like an idiot.
Don't let him lie to you, Chris. I heard him over the race radio. He's blaming you the whole time.
Nah, man.
and then a little bit later on that green flag stop, you get caught with a black flag again.
Yep, that was another speed one, but that one was on entry. That was another one. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just got in there too hot, I guess, and had a 40-second hold, and then I got all the way back on. I think I got back on the lead lap after that, and then I, got caught in that last wreck there. I I didn't see him. I didn't see Colton. I couldn't see much. Being behind them other guys, and then I seen a Dylan going to the top, and I thought, whoever else was going to be up top, and then as soon as I got to the bottom, like Colton jetted back down, and I couldn't slow down, so I
Yeah.
just ran right into him.
And me and Todd were talking during that last restart. We really expected that you and Cliff, the second to last restart before you got involved in that crash, but I really thought it was going to come down to you and Cliff. You guys looked really good all night long.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I don't know if I would have had anything for him. He was. This is like one of his best tracks, I think. So he's super quick. I don't know. I just had a bad race, man. It's probably one of my worst one in a long time.
A little
Two
bad luck.
speeding penalties and accident.
Yeah, as we were talking with Quinn, Quinn had some good luck tonight, and unfortunately, I think you had all the bad luck for just about everybody. But hey, man,
Yeah.
good job out there. Thanks for willing to jump up in the booth with us during the cautions. Hopefully, we're not distracting you too much. So
No, you're good. That was my fault, dude. I'd done that before. I just having that first pit stall, and then I seen the cars coming, and I just friggin' hammered it. Wasn't even thinking.
yeah, all right, brother. Well, have a good rest of the weekend. We're gonna give you an opportunity to give anybody any thanks you want to do right now.
Yeah, Patrick from Bully Dog Coffee Company, Todd for running the league. I have a lot of fun in here, and you for broadcasting, buddy.
All right, brother. Well, have a good rest of the weekend, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, that is going to just about wrap up our coverage. I'm going to go to the full. Anything you want to throw in real quick, Todd?
No, just big thanks again to you for doing this for us every week here. We really enjoy going to watch the broadcast back after. You do a great job, and hopefully we can put on a show for you at Watkins Glen next week.
You gotta be careful, man. You're gonna give me a big head. So, but we're gonna real quick. We're gonna take a look at the final results here. If I would click on the race, there we go. I just got to get back on the right page. All right, here we go. So as we said, Cliff Adams, Dylan McLean, Quinn McLean. That's your top three. Fourth place runner, Benedict Ringer. Aiden O'Neill with a good run is going to come up in fifth. Jacob Barker in sixth. Shane Williams had a good hot rod early, but he's going to fall back to seventh. Charlie Bowling fought his way all the way back to eighth after crashing with him and Todd earlier in the race. Matt Dickerson in ninth. Chris Farmer 10th. Colton, I really thought was going to have a good podium run here tonight. He's going to come back to 11th after a little incident there with Barker. Cody Zuroff. I got to say off. I got called out for using an H in his name, so it's off. Joey Adamo, I'm guessing, is right for 13th. Mark Oser, and I'm sure I'm saying Mark's name wrong all season long, but hopefully he'll correct me. And am I right? Mark is the oldest driver in the field, right?
I believe so. I think when he told me he was going to take the number 71, he took it to match his age.
So Mark racing at 71. Mark was up front at some points tonight. He had a really good car until he got involved in an incident as well. So Connor Fusion 15th. And there's Todd in 16th. Gonna finish in the booth in the 16th spot. Wesley Fusion 17th. Hunter Hughes, Jesse Singleton with the disconnect, and the rounding out the field in 20th, Matthew Hobbs. So Quinn McLean, the hard charger of the race, up 10 spots, led to Cliff Adams, won the race and led the most laps at 110. Fastest lap was also Cliff Adams, and your pole sitter Matt Dickerson fell back late in this race. All right, so we're going to go and get ourselves out of here. Do not forget, we're back tomorrow night, Saturday night racing with JWR Esport E-Racing. I keep saying esports, is E-Racing. Super Speedway racing with Craftsman Trucks. It's a money race. It's a Saturday Night Fever at Talladega. Don't miss that one next Tuesday night. We are back with the Dirty Old Bastards. I'm not sure why they call them that, but they're one of the oldest dirt leagues. This is season 22 for 360 sprints. And do not miss that race. There are some of the best drivers, some of the top drivers in dirt racing and all of iRacing running that league week in and week out. And they put on one fantastic show. Matter of fact, if you got nothing to do tomorrow, go back and watch last Tuesday night. It was a great race to watch at Williams Grove. So check that one out. Also Tuesday night, we have the Western Racing League Truck Series. And then Wednesday night, let me see, Wednesday night, where are we? No, Wednesday night, we have the Appalachian, what's the rest of that name?
American Appalachian Esports.
Thank you very much. ARCA Series, Wednesday night, that's going to be covered by my good friend Sager Basher. And then Thursday night, we got the Nitro Zone Racing League Truck Series. That is going to be brought to you by Liam Ervig. And then I am back next Friday night, so I'll be here Tuesday and Friday of next week. We're going to have another week of the Half Decent Racing League, and they're only half decent in name. That's what I'm going to start saying. Watkins Glen at the road course next Friday night. So thanks again for jumping up here in the booth with me, Todd. I really appreciate it. It's been a fun night for sure.
Yes, sir. Again, thanks for the invite after I got my race finished there, and hey, nowhere better to go than up to the booth after you're done for the night.
There you go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, and thanks for being a part of it here with us, DRSN. I know it's a Friday night. You could have been doing just about anything else, so thanks for spending your night with us. If you haven't subscribed or liked the channel yet, do it now. If you didn't even like what you heard, still do it, but please give us a subscribe. But I'm Chris Murphy. Until the next green flag comes out, take care of each other. We're going to see you at the track. Good night.